This is Dan of Vagabond Awake.
This is 𝗙晖 from 𝗙𝗏 Venture.
And in this video, we want to talk about Koh Samui, Thailand. Every year I do a top 15 places in the entire world to retire cheap in paradise. And Koh Samui always finds its way into the top 5. And today we just decided to talk about, we spent a month there, and we wanted to cover the livability factors that are in every report we create for Koh Samui, to ask the question, is it still ranking like it did 2 years ago when we were here?
Yes.
I left the United States 17 years ago. I've been to 73 countries now. Boy, that's a lot of countries.
I been to 48 countries, and I've been traveling with Dan for 7 years.
Yeah, and you went to a bunch of countries before we even met.
Yeah.
So we'll get right into it here. The first thing we're going to talk about is walkability. Koh Samui is basically, you could cut it into 2 parts. The lower left is where it's mostly locals, and the upper right is where it's mostly tourists. And it doesn't matter which one you pick, it's not very good walkability, is it?
Not really, unless that you just want to retire over there. Then you pick out one neighborhood. They have 7-Eleven, they have public market, they have a haircut center, they have massage center. So I would say it's okay if you don't want to moving around. But if you are coming to visit a Koh Samui, then it's not good for walkability.
Yeah, if you want to enjoy the whole island like we do, you're going to have to rent a scooter, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So walkability, I would say, is low unless you're one of those people that's happy in a neighborhood that has everything you need, and you're not into like exploring the whole island every day. And maybe the first few months you'll explore the whole island, but after that maybe you're going to be happy just renting a scooter for a couple days a month when friends visit or whatever. In that case, maybe it's medium or even high for walkability.
The next thing is internet. Internet is not a big issue in Thailand. They have a very good internet. Example is in our accommodation. Our internet is 100 Mbps upload and 100 Mbps download. So it's a good for working and normal emailing.
Yeah, we have high demand for internet because of our, creating videos and what we do. There's a chance of you not being happy with the internet, I would say, is almost zero. Okay, restaurants. There's basically, it's a range of restaurants, but basically there's 2 kinds of restaurants that's there. One that's mainly tourists and one that's mainly locals. And we like to eat Thai food, and there are Thai restaurants that are kind of geared for tourists and can be kind of expensive, but we eat at the more local ones.
Yeah, the local restaurant, local dishes. Local restaurant is, what we mean is, there's no fancy floor or the tablecloth. It's just local people cooking the food and everyone come to eat. We spend about that, is like per meal is about $2. They have a very nice local food dish. So, in our neighborhood it's easy to go. We also go for some tourist restaurants that they have people guide you to send you to your table, seat, and then beautiful table, and then they have serving you different kind of food, international food. And on that, you pay a little bit more, maybe like 3 or 4 times more. And they also including service charge. The service charge in the Thailand is not that much. It's like 5% they charge. But depend on you pay. Some restaurants they don't charge you the service charge, like our favorite restaurant. And the last day we went for the restaurant on the beach, they don't charge for the service charge, but no, we will put 10% at least for the service tip. If they serve us very good, we will give more.
And when we talk to local Thai people and ask them about tipping, they generally say they don't really tip much. It's not really a custom in Thailand. Maybe they'll tip a little bit or just give the change back or whatever, but it's not a requirement there. It doesn't really affect your service like it would be in other parts of the world. So.
Yeah. In Koh Samui, they have 3 different kind of market. One is aspect supermarket, which is they have a fancy food, they have organic fruit and vegetable, they have a lot of the imported food like cereal, milk, cheese, ham, whatsoever you can find in Koh Samui. Another one is a local supermarket, which is they have Lotus, they have Big C, they have Makro. Makro is a wholesale supermarket, and that is my favorite supermarket
Yeah.
because price cheaper. Another type of the market is the local market, which is public market. We have morning market, afternoon market, and the night market. You can buy vegetable over there. So let's talk about macro. I love to shop in the macro because they have everything over there. They also have fish, they have salmon, they have cheese, but the choice is not that much like the expat one, but they have a good choices over there for me to use. We make Mexican food from over there,
Yeah.
and I like to buy like the big vegetable like this is about like $1. You know, I like to shop in the macro as I no need to speak to the seller how is this the price, you know, because I'm not a person who like to talk that much. So I like to just pick and I pay money. So that's why I love to shop in the macro. We also shop in the public market as well. When we are going to the public market, I want to buy a tofu from one seller. She didn't sell tofu, she had vegetable. I asked, do you know where she has tofu? And she bring me around and I buy my tofu. And I got the price is a local price because the prices I saw in the tofu and the vegetable are lower than the supermarket price.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like, you know, they are cheating me. No, they are all the same. That is the experience I have in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about the public markets, they're basically open air. They might have some kind of tent roof over them or whatever, but they're individually owned stalls by families, and so it's kind of fun to be in those markets, especially if you're going to stick to a little neighborhood and you're not going to get on your scooter and drive to Macro or something. You'll find there's a public market somewhere near you. You can go pick up whatever food you need for the day,
Yeah.
and that really is your bottom dollar in terms of cost of living if
Yeah,
you're-
yeah.
for shopping.
Yes.
Okay, next up is transportation. The public transportation is not really good in Koh Samui. It's not like other parts of Thailand where they have buses running everywhere. Like in Bangkok, they have the above ground rail, the underground rail, and water taxis and all this kind of.
The collectible they call 𝗙𝗕𝗢.
𝗙𝗕𝗢, yeah. Koh Samui does have 𝗙𝗕𝗢, but in the tourist area, they're not really Thai prices. It can be 2 and 3 times as much, or 4 or 5 times as much as you expect to spend in most parts of Thailand. So really, you're just left with Grab or you rent a scooter. That's pretty much it. So we decided to rent a scooter, and we paid about $3,500. It's like $100 a month. US for a scooter, give you a couple of helmets. You're not going to spend much on gas, and so we can go anywhere on the island we want. And so that's how we handle transportation when we're in Thailand. But if we moved there and retired there long term, I'd probably buy a used scooter for $500 or $800, a couple of helmets, and that would be it. There'd be no monthly costs other than repairs and gasoline and possibly insurance or whatever. Next up is weather. This is Southeast Asia, and so most Westerners come over there for vacation, lay under a palm tree, and drink whatever adult beverages they want on vacation. But if they come there to live, it could be a bit warm for them. They're not used to trying to live in a place that warm. To give you an example, in December, which temperatures are not quite as hot, it's 81 Fahrenheit in the day and 27 Celsius. Which is 27 Celsius. But that's the average of December. It can get hotter, it can get cooler, but it's pretty much, it's in that range. And then the hot part of the year is May-ish, where it can get up to 87 Fahrenheit in the day average, which is 31 Celsius. At night, how much does it cool down? In December, it cools down to about 73 Fahrenheit, which is 23 Celsius in December, and then in May it cools down to 76 Fahrenheit, which is 24 Celsius. Now the rainy season is October through December, with a lot of the rain falling in November, frankly, but that's the full rainy season. And so if you want to go and at a time of year where the prices are better, it's the rainy season, but you're still going to get a day or two of every week where at least half the day is sunny.
Yeah, if you stay in Koh Samui for a month. And one more thing is I have to mention is the humidity. In Southeast Asia, it's very humid,
Yeah.
so not a lot of people can take that humid kind of weather. Yeah.
And so maybe the beach isn't the place for you if you're afraid of humidity. I've been into Southeast Asia forever. I love it. But there is highlands. You have like Pai, Thailand, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and then in other parts of Southeast Asia, you have places very high up. And elevation brings coolness. So think about that, whether you want to be at sea level on an island or up in the mountains somewhere. So things to do in Koh Samui, boy, you're not going to run out of stuff to do. You know, this is a vacation paradise. So everything you can imagine is there. You know, you have partying, shooting pool, golfing, night markets, cooking, yoga, scuba, snorkeling, mountain biking, martial arts, gyms, restaurants, bar hopping, island hopping, live music, running, coffee shops, street food, malls, dancing, picnics, stand-up boarding, windsurfing, volleyball, basketball, jet skiing, sailing, and relaxing on the beach.
But you miss out one thing.
What's that?
Massage.
Massage.
Massage is very important in Thailand, okay? You go to Thailand, you need to go to massage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not, the massage is serious. It's the best massages in the world. They also have, you know, happy endings and all that kind of thing, but we're talking about real massage. It's just amazing.
Sounds like you've been to the happy ending massage, huh?
I always go for the sad ending. Now, healthcare is another thing we're not going to spend much time on. Thailand is one of the premier healthcare providers in the world. And not only that, it has the pricing. When the prices are 70 or 80% off, like US prices, and the healthcare is as good using the same equipment, educated, language, everything's there. I'm not going to spend much time on it, but Thailand is amazing for healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you want to live somewhere where there's expats, definitely Koh Samui is a place like that. You know, you want to stay in the tourist area, and to find out, you know, ask questions about Koh Samui of expats. Just go to Facebook, Google Koh Samui expats, and one of the bigger pages, for example, has 34,000 members of that Facebook page. And they're not all foreigners, expats. There's locals there too. People renting stuff, where to eat, all kinds. Just ask questions there of any kind. And then also you find out where meetups are, and so expats. If you want to be around expats, Koh Samui is a great place for that.
Yes. So it's not just about the English-speaking expat. They have Vietnamese expat. They have Russian expat. They have all over the world, from Portuguese, from UK, from, you know, all over the world to go there. Because why? Because Koh Samui also is a famous spot for the digital nomad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People often talk about, do you use a credit card, do you pay for cash? Okay, this is 18 years now I'm coming on that I've been overseas. And one of the things I do when I arrive in a new country is I go pull money out of an ATM and I pay for everything in cash. The only thing I use a credit card for is if I book a flight or accommodations online. The reason I do that is I've had times before when my credit card got hacked or missing or whatever, and I've had to call my bank and had it overnighted, and sometimes it can take a couple weeks, and now suddenly I find myself, I have to book an airfare or have to book accommodations, and I don't have a card. Now I'm going to a travel agent paying cash for an airfare. No, you don't want to use your credit card. I don't use my credit card for anything other than the two things I mentioned. I pay cash for everything. The world's slowly going to these point of sale cash apps, Google Pay, Apple Pay, and that kind of thing.
And card pay.
And card pay, yeah. So if that's your thing, you know, but for me, I don't fool with my home country credit cards for any of that stuff. You can get a Wise card or Google Pay or Apple Pay or one of those, but I would not carry around my home country credit card and start using it at restaurants. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just, you know, saying what's worked for me, because I don't want to deal with all that hassle of getting hacked and trying to get a new card sent overseas.
And for my choice is for this I will have two cards. I always have two cards with me. One is a card that is no money. I use debit card.
Oh, debit card.
Yeah, debit card. Okay. So when I need to, because when we go to some of the restaurants, not in Koh Samui but in Thailand or other places, they don't accept cash. Okay, so I put my money, $100 inside my debit card. I use that to swipe. So if someone's swiping my card or anything scam, that is only $100 up. That's all.
Right.
So that is one of my technique when I travel the world.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, what about housing? Now, when you first get there, you're going to have temporary housing. You can book that on Airbnb. And we stayed in a lovely place. You want to share about that?
Yeah, we have a good apartment we found in the Koh Samui. We stayed for a month. We're renting a studio in the Koh Samui, or maybe 10 seconds, you know, walking from the beach. So we very enjoy in our apartment. We walk from our apartment to the beach, and then from the beach to the restaurants.
Yeah, putting your feet in the sand is nice. You don't even put shoes on. Imagine that.
Yeah, and all these apartment where we stay, all the link, restaurant or whatsoever, scooter rental is all in our report. So you can click on the report and find out where we stay, where we eat, and where we shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the price for that apartment, I think it's about 22,000 baht, and we're paying about $55 for our electricity. The water and the internet is including in this apartment, and also a 1 week cleaning, house cleaning with changing the bedsheet and the towel. Okay, so 642 is a short-term rental a month in the Koh Samui.
Yeah, so when you get there, you want to say a couple weeks or a month or whatever, short-term rental. But eventually, if you're deciding to stay, you've got to go to a long-term rent, which you can save quite a bit of money on. Like Cheng said, we were 30 meters from the beach. But when you're going long-term, if you're trying to keep your expenses down, not everyone is, but if you get 5-6 blocks back from the beach, starting for around 300 a month, depending on what part of the island you're on, for a one-bedroom apartment. Now that's furnished with a refrigerator, and it's going to depend on what area and how updated it is and all that. It might come with some silverware, cups, this kind of thing, but it can run all the way up to, if you want more modern styling and closer to the beach, it can run you 800 or 1,000 per month. So that gives you a range, whether you're trying to save money or trying to live it up a little bit. So quality of life, Koh Samui, Thailand. Well, you're on this beautiful beach, island, palm trees, things to do, endless things to do, water sports. It's really hard to beat it quality of life wise. And so, it depends on what you want, of course. It is island life. It's not like a city. It's not going to be, you're not going to find the symphony there or that sort of thing. But
yeah,
but it's quality of life is very high if you're into islands.
Yeah, simple, peaceful, and nice.
Yes.
For the language I would say that they will speak English, a tourist kind of the English. So we don't have any language barrier over there. Just use a simple English to speak with them. If you want to ask something to buying stuff, just use a simple English.
And if you get a little bit back from the beach and someone doesn't speak any English, just pull out your smartphone, open up Google Translate, speak English into it, and it'll spit the Thai words out to whoever you're talking to.
Yeah, but use simple English to speak on that also.
Yes. Now, safety is kind of like healthcare or the internet in Thailand. I mean, I just really don't. I've never had an issue in Thailand with safety. The only people that I've seen have safety issues in Thailand are people that when they've had a few too many drinks, get loud or violent. The police will round you up and put you in jail. So, but that's not, it just doesn't happen that often. Thailand's a place where people let their hair down and have a good time. And so safety's not an issue, and you're not going to have a lot of trouble there.
We went out to the beach, then only find out that, I forget my phone. So
I ran out to the scooter going, someone's going to get my phone, someone's going to get my phone. And there's all these scooter people walking around. There's my phone sitting right up on the handlebars, both the helmets. It's like, no one drives my phone.
Second time it happened on the mall that we go to the mall. We park the car, and we park the motorbike, and then forget his phone again.
Yeah. It's senioritis. So.
Yeah, it's because that we're renting a motorbike and they have a phone on the rack, so you can hear the Google to tell you turn left, turn right, you know. So we often forget and leave our phone over there. Yeah. And also when we go to anywhere in the Koh Samui, we leave our helmet with the motorbike together. We don't bring it with us. So and that's just an example, but all day hours, day and night, coming and going, all over Thailand. I've never had anything getting close to where I felt unsafe. So, but still, you need to use your common sense.
Yeah, of course.
Everywhere in the world.
Okay, real estate. This time in Thailand, I thought, I'll go look at one of these condos, and I contacted a realtor I found online, and I went to see a condo, beautiful one-bedroom condo, separate living room, bedroom in the living room had like a little dining area, kitchen, furnished, pots and pans, cooking utensils, balcony with a view of the pool, just like maybe 1 kilometer from the beach, in a nice area, not far from the macro grocery store that Chum loves. $65,000 US. But I don't recommend buying real estate in the first year or two when you move somewhere. You have to really see if the country takes. Not everyone is supposed to live overseas. It's for some people, not others. So take your time, don't rush into stuff. If you've been there a year and you're like, I don't want to leave, then start thinking about buying if you're going to buy ever. But renting's not a bad idea either. So there's two kinds of visas you sort of need to think about. Number one is when you're coming short term as a tourist, and when you want to stay long term as a resident.
For the short term, the visa exemption is Malaysians and the US citizen. You can go to Thailand now. They give you 2 months visa exemption. But one thing, Thailand always changes the visa policy. So you need to check before you fly into the Thailand.
And then once you're there and you're loving it and your 2 months is coming up and you decide, I'm going to retire there, you want to apply for a retirement visa. If you have a $2,000 a month pension and fill out some paperwork and do some other things they need, you can get a 1-year retirement visa that you renew every year. And then, but if you don't have that pension, but you have somewhere between around $22,000, $25,000 that you can put in a Thai bank, that depends on the conversion of whatever your local currency is. That's dollars, 22 to 25. Then you can put that in a Thai bank and they'll issue a retirement visa that you have to renew every year.
Yes, and one more is the new visa. That's why I say Thailand's always come out new stuff, new visa.
Yeah.
It's called DTV visa, which is for once you apply, it lasts for 5 years. Each time you enter to the Thailand, you can stay up to 180 days. And how to apply this visa? If you want to go for cooking class, so easy, right? Muay Thai, the boxing class. You want to see doctor in the Thailand hospital, you get them to give you a letter so you can apply the visa. For more procedures thing, you need to check it by yourself because they are changing it all the time.
Yeah, and there's no age limit on that. It's anybody that wants to do those things and fills out the paperwork and all the requirements. Boom, you have it lasts 5 years.
Yes.
Now, in terms of infrastructure, Koh Samui, for the most part, is paved. There's streetlights, sidewalks, but not completely. More so in the tourist areas than the non-tourist areas. But if you get back from the beach, 6, 8, 10 blocks back in, there's some areas where it's still dirt roads, and those areas they don't necessarily have drainage. If it rains, you can have muddy roads and that sort of thing, so it can become a problem. But if you're staying closer to the beach, you won't have much trouble with infrastructure. And they have an international airport, don't they?
Oh yeah, the international airport is a very beautiful. It's open air airport, so you are not feeling you are entering to the airport. You are more feeling that you are entering to the resort kind of feeling.
Yeah, that's true. So the question is Koh Samui still a desirable place to retire? Would it still bubble into those top 5 in the world? What do you think?
I think yes.
I think so too.
Is it on my top 5 because that Koh Samui have everything that I want. So I can show you my point. The first is island life, and the second is they have a supermarket over there, which you have expat supermarket and local supermarket, and public market, that is what I want. The internet is good over there. They have international airport. Boom, that is the place that I want to be.
Yeah. For me, where you want to retire is a feeling thing. It's how it feels for you when you're there, and it just feels good to us there. Everything we need's there. There's not a lot of hassle, not a lot of drama. It just really unfolds for us. But feeling is different for everyone. So what I recommend, I have a retire overseas course where I teach you really how to think about retiring overseas, all through the stages when you're first thinking about it, all the way till you live overseas. If you want to find out more about that, watch this video right here.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
See you in the next video. Bye bye.
Bye bye.